Many thanks for joining us again. We have right here in the studio Ngozi Nwabueze. She is CEO, Principal Partner, Pocket Lawyers and Co. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you on the show.
Same here.
And I must confess that you have a pretty face.
Thank you.
So, yes, when a lot of people think about the legal profession, business isn't the first thing that comes to mind. Talk to us about the business side of the profession.
Well, the business side of the profession, should I say, unfortunately, in our training, right, they only, teach you the legal side, and then they always leave the business side.
The practice.
Side. Yes. Now, the business guys always, focus on the business and then leave the legal side, right? So, I mean,
so are you saying there are those who are called the business guys in the legal profession?
No, what I mean is the average entrepreneur.
Okay.
Usually faces the business, and then always more often than not, they always leave out the legal side of their business. And then us lawyers, our training, we just focus on the legal side, and then the business, the entrepreneurship side of it, running a firm and all of those things are not part of in contemplation in our training. So it's just it's topsy-turvy on either side.
From both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you talk about business, what are the challenges when it comes to the business side of the legal profession?
Well, the challenges are inborn in the profession. For example,
How do you mean?
The fact that you cannot advertise.
Yeah, so I hear that a lot, but I also read a report that says that was a still what's it called now, principle, and that it no longer holds.
No. Well, there are things you can do, of course, like, for example, what we are doing now, educating the public about, the need for legal structure in their businesses and different aspects of, business legals. You can do that, of course, but of course you can't do a billboard for a law firm. You can't do, newspaper spreads and all of those things. So
you can auction for a law case.
No, you are not supposed to put yourself or your firm brand out there like that. In the full glare, unlike the way other people can, other professions and other, people can, we can't.
But is that a disadvantage?
Not at all. I don't think it's
okay. So
because usually your work is supposed to speak for itself. So if you are good, trust me, they will find you.
Rest if salloquitur. Did I get that?
Well, the fact speaks for itself. Yes.
So let's talk about why a business needs a legal framework.
Well, I like to put it like this. If you are running a business without legal framework, sorry, you are hustling or you're just doing a hobby, right? If you are thinking long term, you're thinking of structure, you're thinking of being able to fire yourself from a lot of roles, right? What do I mean by that? As a business, as an entrepreneur, in the beginning you get to do a lot of things. You have to be the A to Z of that business. But the idea of creating structure, financial structure, legal structure, processes, all that does is to help you expand your business, be able to do more. There's only so much one person can do in 24 hours, right? But if you're able to create the structures and, create a business that is separate from you as an entity, right? Then you can be talking of creating something that can outlive you. If you're thinking long term in that regard, you're thinking of a business that can form part of your legacy. Then you have to be, there is no two ways about it. There needs to be legal structure, from registering your business, which is the first and the most basic thing, to trademarking the brand name. You see how you see, oh, this is a registered trademark of so brand, right? And all of that, So you have that way, that brand, that logo, the name, it's an identity of that particular brand, and it's something that no other person can cover. Can copy or imitate. So.
Okay, because it's customized for you.
Exactly. So, especially in that particular area of expertise, right? So, if you really want to build a brand, that would outlive you. There's only so long a human being lives. But we have businesses that are 200 years old, 150, 300 years old. Of course, you can be sure that business has probably gotten to its third or fourth generation. The only way that can happen is if you have legal structure as one of the structures and the pillars upon which your business stands. Minus that, you're hustling.
So does a lawyer have to be involved in all of these processes?
Absolutely, absolutely. From registering your business to advising you on the best legal structure to use to put your business, to base your business on, to advising you, of course, when you want to take funding or you want to approach a bank
for loans.
Exactly. You want to partner with somebody, you want to deal with third parties, to your employees. It is scary that people employ people without documentation. Right?
We see a lot of that. Is it that people are not educated, or is it challenging?
I think
to do?
I think is a little bit of both, right? I think it's more of the fact that people do not understand. Now, I've heard too many stories on this job, right? I wish I could literally carry like a microphone and just be announced, tell the story so that people understand. Because a lot of times when you say something like, and I'm telling whoever is consulting with me, and I'm telling them, oh, they're like, oh yes, this happened to me. This happened to me. This happened to me. And I'm like, if you had this in place, it wouldn't stop it from happening, right? But if these kind of things happen, you have something to fall back on. It mitigates, the losses and the damages, yes, to the business. So people employ people and they don't even know who their next of kin is. They don't even have their full details. They don't know where they live. If, for example, you're not even able to reach the person over the phone, you have no other person to call, and I mean, you even need to be able to document the parameters guiding that particular relationship in a document, right? From the offer letter to the job description to the, to the agreement and just everything around that. So amongst so many other things that you need a legal professional for. So, I mean, it's scary when I see businesses and entrepreneurs doing business without a lawyer.
So what are the processes involved in getting all of this done?
Well, I mean, I can't go into full details, right? Because I mean, it's really technical in the sense that, I mean, that's exactly why you need us, right? So, but you absolutely just really need to get somebody, you can talk to and then can advise you on the best. So you can either take that service as a one-off, or you can take what we call a retainer with that person and then do the advisory. I really cannot go. It's a whole lot. Yeah, it's a whole lot. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering, the fact that you don't advertise, how do you get your clients? What's the process like? How do you market? I know you don't, but how does it go?
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
If you do a good job, it speaks for you, and then referrals, right? That's how it just trickles down. So, I mean, your best bet is to do a damn good job.
So talk to us about intellectual property. How do you protect it? What are the things involved?
Okay, first and foremost, before you can even protect the intellectual property of any brand, you have to have that business registered. I've had people approach me and they say, oh, they want to trademark, their logo, and they want to trademark their brand name. And I'm like, okay, is your business registered first? And they say no. That's the first thing. Right. So,
so before you go ahead, I'd like to know what the bottleneck is when it comes to registering businesses. Is it that the process of registering isn't easy? We know that Nigeria ranks up on a yearly basis on the ease of doing business from 131 from 146 to 131st at the last ranking, and it means that the process of doing business is easy. Doesn't mean that it isn't easy from the fact that a lot of people are not registering their businesses.
Well, I think that is a whole total misconception in the minds of the entrepreneurs. First and foremost, I'll hear a lot of people talk about, oh, I don't have the money to be able to register, it's too expensive, right? If your business is what is putting food on your table, I don't think it's too much. I even hear people come and say, okay, let me just register a business name as opposed to registering, a company limited. Yes, right? At the risk of not even having any registered, at least do a business name, right? And of course, eventually you can then convert it to a company, proper company, right? The process of registering a business is not so cumbersome. It's not so cumbersome. So I don't think people don't do it because of that. And then also I've heard people say, oh, by the time I register my business, I have to start paying tax.